So Wicked might look like pure movie magic on screen, but behind the scenes, it's a completely different story. Full of wild details, clever tricks, and unexpected choices that made it all come to life. From paint that took hours to apply to flowers that were actually planted by hand, there's a bunch of stuff fans never got to see. Because the production team wanted to keep the spirit of Oz alive in the most realistic way possible, nearly everything, from the makeup to the music, was done practically. So let's count down the top 20 behind-the-scenes things you didn't know about Wicked. 20. Both Nick and Joe Jonas auditioned to play Fiyero. Before Jonathan Bailey snagged the role, both Nick and Joe Jonas tried out to play the charming Fiyero. Nick even said he felt great walking out of the audition and thought it went well, but he later admitted Jonathan would do a fantastic job. It's one of those fun Hollywood what-ifs, but Bailey's casting really worked out perfectly because he brought that confident, carefree energy that defines Fiyero. 19. They planted 9 million real tulips for Munchkinland. This might be one of the most jaw-dropping details. Instead of relying on CGI, the filmmakers actually planted and grew 9 million tulips to build Munchkinland's colorful landscape. Since the Munchkins are shown collecting color from the tulip fields, the team wanted the visuals to feel authentic. It took months of planning, but the results gave the film's opening scenes a vibrant natural magic that no amount of computer effects could replicate. 18. A bunch of stars auditioned to play Glinda. It wasn't just Ariana Grande in the running for Glinda. Stars like Renee Rapp, Dove Cameron, and Amanda Seyfried also auditioned for the part. All three have Broadway and vocal experience, so it was a close call. But Ariana's mix of charm, comedic timing, and powerhouse vocals ultimately won her the role. 17. It took up 4 hours to paint Cynthia Erivo green. Transforming Cynthia into Elphaba was a massive task. The makeup process could take anywhere between 2 hours and 45 minutes to over 4 hours depending on how much of her skin was visible. Because Elphaba's signature green glow needed to look natural, not cartoonish, the team had to blend different tones until it looked like real skin. 16. Removing the green paint was just as hard. At the end of each shoot, it took about 45 minutes to remove the paint. Cynthia couldn't just wash it off. She had to use a special makeup remover that wouldn't irritate her skin. Imagine doing that every day. It's dedication. 15. Finding the right shade of green was surprisingly complicated. Oscar-winning hair and makeup designer Frances Hannon said her team experimented with several test shades before landing on one that didn't look flat under the lights. The final mix had a touch of yellow undertone because it reflected light better on Cynthia's darker skin tone, giving her that radiant, otherworldly glow. 14. The costume team had to get creative to avoid green stains. Because the makeup could easily rub off on clothes, costume designer Paul Tazewell came up with a brilliant fix. He made Cynthia wear a colored skin suit and lined her costumes with dyed fabric. That way, her outfits wouldn't get ruined and it still looked like her entire body was naturally green. 13. The sets were mostly practical, not CGI. Instead of relying heavily on visual effects, the production team built large-scale sets by hand. They actually laid down the yellow brick road, painted massive green floors, and constructed Munchkinland and Emerald City with intricate detail. Director Jon M wanted the actors to feel like they were really in Oz so their performances could feel grounded. 12. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo sang live on set. Unlike most movie musicals that pre-record the songs, both Ariana and Cynthia insisted on singing live. Ariana said sticking to a pre-recorded track would have felt too robotic and stopped them from connecting emotionally to the music. Plus, they wanted to honor the Broadway performers who sing these songs live 8 times a week. 11. Cynthia Erivo performed her own stunts. Cynthia wasn't just singing, she was flying. During the filming of Defying Gravity, she was actually lifted into the air in a harness while belting out the song. It forced her to completely change her breathing technique because she had to keep her voice steady mid-air. Director Jon M called her performance a miracle of skill, strength, and emotion. 10. Ariana Grande's bubble dress had rainbow undertones. Glinda's sparkling bubble gown wasn't just a pink remake of the original. Costume designers added rainbow tones beneath the layers, giving it a more magical and modern look. Her crown was even made of stacked circular bubbles, a subtle nod to her mode of transportation. 9. Elphaba's dress was inspired by mushrooms and fungi. Elphaba's look wasn't just about black fabric, it was layered with purples, lace, and textured patterns inspired by mushrooms. Costume designers wanted it to feel like something that had grown out of nature, representing Elphaba's connection to the earth and her untamed magic. 8. The Emerald City train was completely real. The train that takes Elphaba and Glinda to the Emerald City wasn't a digital prop. It was built from scratch, weighed 16 tons, and took 2 full days to move. The crew wanted to show the grandeur of Oz's industrial side without faking it on a green screen. 7. Wicked almost became a movie way earlier. When the Wicked novel came out in 1995, Whoopi Goldberg tried to buy the film rights within a week. Later, Laurie Metcalf and Claire Danes were also interested, but nothing materialized. 6. Demi Moore actually owned the film rights at one point. Eventually, Demi Moore's production company bought the rights and tried to make the film happen, but they couldn't get a workable script, so the rights ended up at Universal. That's where producer Mark Platt, yes, Ben Platt's dad, suggested turning it into a Broadway musical instead. It premiered in 2003 and became one of the highest-grossing shows in history. 5. Jonathan Bailey's horse was the same one from Bridgerton. Here's a fun crossover. The horse Jonathan rides in Wicked is the exact same one he rode in Bridgerton. The horse's name is Jack, and Bailey specifically asked for him again because they'd already built a bond on set. 4. Ariana didn't remember seeing right during Popular. In the movie's version of Popular, Ariana shouts right in response to Elphaba, and the clip went viral. Fans loved how spontaneous it felt, but when Ariana saw the footage, she admitted she didn't even remember saying it. That's how natural the moment was. 3. The song Popular was filmed with a live pianist. Because the vocals were recorded live, the crew also brought in a pianist to accompany Ariana and Cynthia on set. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.